Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to another Red Bull review from RBNY UK. I am Scott, and I'm joined today, as always, by my very good friend Luke Hume. Good afternoon, Luke.
Good afternoon. What a great win!
What a great win!
What a great win! I'll be honest. We did our previews with Orlando City. We did our podcast. I didn't pick a Red Bull win. I thought we'd get a draw. It could have been a draw. Yes, Scott did pick a win. I didn't get the score right though.
No, I didn't. It's 3-2.
I think what's quite ironic is our friend of the show, Orlando City UK, did pick 2-1, but
He did.
not the right way.
The wrong way around.
The wrong way around.
Absolutely.
It
was great victory to go into the break with. Obviously, we're going to start by just having a quick look through the teams. Red Bulls lined up with Coronel in goal, with Duncan at right back, John Tolkien making his full debut at left back. We had both Tom Edwards and Sean Nealis. Tom Edwards coming inside the centre back today. Davis in the hole. Then we had Caceres and Amaya either side of him. Clark in the 10, Klamala and Roya up top. Off the bench, we had a couple of players come on. We had Drew Yearwood come on due to an unfortunate injury to Frankie Amaya. We had Brian White come on. We had Amir Fernandez get some minutes. So I think, all in all, we've used the squad quite well.
Yeah, I think the main talking point from there is John Tolkien. What game? He looked like MLS vet. He's not like he debuted.
What we do, and you look at it every single time. What we do with our two system, and with bringing these players through that get those minutes down there, it's almost like a seamless turnover. Over into the first team. We've got some very, very talented players that play down there, and to have two options now with Andrew Gutman and John Tolkien at left back, I think that's the strongest we've been in that position for a very long time.
I think you probably had to look way back to before 15. You think you had Cameron Lawrence, who was like he was probably the best left back in MLS, but he didn't have much cover. You had Conor Lade. I love Conor Lade. He was a far better right back. He was a left back. Yeah, you right back. Then before that, you had Roy Miller, which is let's just leave that as Roy Miller, because
Sorry, you froze for a second.
Sorry, I think your internet is low. You said your bandwidth is low, so.
Yeah, I'm paying far too much for far too poor internet, to be honest, for all looks things.
Yeah.
But Roy Miller, absolutely. Obviously, Kemar Lawrence, a fantastic left back as well. But I think the depth that we've got at the minute is very, very, very strong, and something we can really be excited about.
Definitely.
I think with Frankie Amaya with an unfortunate injury, I don't think we know just as yet how serious that is. His start to his Red Bulls career has been absolutely fantastic, and I really truly hope that it's not going to keep him out for too long. But it also shows our immense depth in the central midfield position, because Frankie Amaya comes off for until the last couple of weeks designated player Drew Yearwood. I think that's that shows how strong we are in those positions. So I think you can look at both sides of the coin there.
Yeah, I agree. I think we haven't heard anything about him. We haven't had any report back from the club yet. We don't know what it is. I'm hopeful. Didn't look too serious. Like he wasn't taken to when he sat in the sands. He wasn't taken to hospital. As far as we know,
no stretchers.
No stretchers. So I'm hoping it's more precautionary move run. And he got 3 weeks to get fit now before our next game at Nashville. But fingers crossed for Frankie Amaya.
Absolutely. Luke, do you want to go over the Orlando City lineup?
Yeah, so Orlando City lineup. Goalkeeper's not really surprised. Probably, I think he's probably the best keeper in MLS. Pedro.
I think it's hard to argue past Galacia being, if not the best. Looking at Andre Blake, looking at Bill Hamid, I think he's definitely at the top end of that conversation.
Yeah, he's a fantastic player. Antonio Carlos and Johnson at centre half. Holiday and Smith on both sides of the flanks. The midfield, this shows this as a 4-2-2-2. I actually played that. I remember Orlando, UK, also they got it wrong. So I'm thinking of people themselves. But in the midfield was Uso, Mendes, Pereira, and Piera, and Miller, and Akindele. Southwell, don't know who came on and didn't come on, but Austin, Joe Martino. I couldn't believe he was at Orlando now.
It's not that one.
Oh, it's not that one.
It's not our Joe Martino. No, I'm. To those of you that don't know, I'm a Wolves fan. We have the Joe Martino.
I'm going to say, I thought
international central midfielder. He still plays for Wolverhampton Wanderers. This is a very young left back.
Mandy Water, Mikel, Avialdo, Hope Gone. Name pronunciation. Sorry guys, I'm butchering your names. Lura. Oh God, I'm not a pronunciation person. Gizzard, and I'm not even going to attempt to say about that one. 88. I've got no idea. We go with that.
I mean, I know a few. Obviously, the two players that came off the bench, in my opinion, that caused the most problems were Benji Michel. He really impressed me. I've not seen much of him before, but down that sort of left-hand flank, I think he caused Carl Duncan a fair few amount of problems. I think he was sort of one of their main reasons for getting forward. And then Van der Werter, who I refuse to not call Van der Water because his name is Water. He scored the goal. He came on, he looked very, very exciting, but thankfully also missed that chance in the very, very last minute that he should have put away.
Buried that. There's a huge let up for the Red Bulls, and we saw it through that clue. So,
I mean, looking at the first half for me was one of entire domination from our Red Bulls.
Oh yeah,
we spent the whole half in their half. There were a few little slips at the back, which tend to be sort of a running theme of a Red Bulls game at the minute, where we do some very, very strange things defensively, where we let Tasha and Akindele in a couple of times. There was one in particular quite early on where he shot directly at the keeper. I think if he shoots anywhere other than down the middle, that goes in, where the defence is sort of falling out of shape. But I think that's bound to happen at the minute with our defensive woes. Tom Edwards, I will say, did an absolutely fantastic job at centre half. I was very impressed with him generally.
And as well.
That allays my fear quite a lot in terms of these defensive slips that we're having. It's nice to know we've got that level of cover.
Yeah.
And maybe that says that we don't need to go and get somebody in. We can play Duncan and Edwards together.
Yeah.
We don't know. But no, we dominated. Pedro Iglesias again. He was the reason why we weren't 2 or 3 or by half time. His performance was absolutely fantastic.
But that header from Sean Nealis he saved.
Yeah. Sean Nealis again. I must say, go over him. He had an absolutely fantastic game.
Yeah, brilliant game, Sean Nealis.
So assured. He's looking more and more confident, more and more comfortable as these games going by. And again, it's really fantastic to see another player that's been playing sort of down in the twos primarily, who's coming through, and doing what we do.
Yeah.
The Red Bull model is working year after year after year, and it's so nice to see. Kyle Duncan, I thought, was particularly good as well on the right hand flank. Thought he caused a lot of problems, especially sort of in the attacking third, putting a lot of good crosses in, getting to the byline and beating men. So I thought he was good. What do you think about midfield 4 or 5, should I say? Because obviously Drew Yearwood came in.
Yearwood came in. Caden Clark obviously had another great game. What a free kick by Taylor Jr. I mean, we didn't actually get to see it because the camera work by MSG was looking at Orlando's lower regions instead, as you would. So we didn't actually get to see the goal, but from the angles I saw out to the goal, it looked pretty good. So, fun fact, that's our first free kick First direct free kick we scored since 2016 by Felipe against Orlando. So it's 5 years later.
My favourite angle of that goal is he's a good friend of mine in the shows, Lenny Lefebvre. He recorded it from the South Ward, from the Viking Army area, and it whistled and it was beautiful free kick.
Brilliant free kick. I was feeling a lot more confidence for 2-0. I generally thought Orlando did not like that scoring. I actually thought Orlando were very, very poor. Like, they don't look like a team of unbeaten. They're not good at all.
I think I obviously I follow personally a few Orlando, the RBNY UK. We follow a fair few of our own, and every single one that I looked at was just it was largely what is going on.
Yeah,
what's happening here. This is a poor performance. So I think we may have been lucky that on the day we didn't get the Orlando that have shown up.
Yeah.
So far this season, we also need to be grateful of the lack of Lewis Nani and Alexandra Pato. Two big game changers.
The biggest test will be in, I think, July. We go back to
July.
July we go down to Florida on the 4th of July. Sorry, so it's on Independence Day. That'd be 4th of July our time, so it'd be 3rd of July their time actually. So that'll be a big test for Red Bulls. Also by then, Rick's team can really start to gel. I've got to remember Rick's team's a new team still. Like players, Kamala has not been in the team that long. Some of these players are still getting used to each other. So by 4th of July, this team could be a good team. It could be a really good team by then.
In terms of obviously, going over the team again, what did you think of the other midfielders? Obviously, you've mentioned goals, but what do you think of the performance across the midfield?
I thought Sean Davis had a good game. The one thing I will pick up, he got yellow carded because he gave a foul away and he got moaning to referee. Then after he got yellow card, he kept moaning, like, dude, shut up. Like, don't get yourself sent off. Just shut up. Like, you already got yellow cards.
I'm quite the opposite, really. I always used to see Sean Davis as quite a passive captain. Less so this season. I think Struber's put a bit of fire in his belly. But I didn't see that side of him. I thought he was more of a good guy. I thought he was in the mould of Chris Armour. So I'm all for him getting a bit shouty and a little bit aggressive.
Oh yeah, I am as well, but not when you're in the cards and the referee's very card happy.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I don't want him to get sent off, but at the same time,
for a bit of your referee, your shit, or for a bit of that. Don't get told it enough. But
how about the overall display of Christian Saris Jr.?
Oh, he's really, really showing what we all knew he had promise.
For me,
so you're really breaking up.
Another trophy. The best player on the pitch.
Yeah, you broke up from it, so I think I recorded it as normal, so it'll be fine. But yeah, I agree. He had a really good game, showing that promise we all knew he had. Yeah. We all knew when he came in, he had a lot of promise, and he was doing quite well in the Jets in March. And then obviously we got Chris Armstrong, and he ruined a lot of players. By the right Phillips is prime example, really. But he didn't all the time. Struber came in and he's looking really good. That free kick was stunning. But even not a free kick, his general play and the way he moves the ball, he gets had a really, really good game. Atver, who tends to man of the match, in my opinion.
But no, I do agree. Caceres has had a very good game. It's all starting to go in the right direction for him, and I think that's a really, really positive sign for our midfield. We have had a few technical difficulties today. My internet has decided that it's not going to do as it's been told, but hopefully, that's the last of it. Although we shall see. But no, I think looking across the game, looking at the forwards, Klimala, I think was quiet for a lot of his time on the pitch. I think he did okay. He obviously assisted the goal, which is great. I think we've realised now that we're not going to see a partnership of Fabio and Klimala. That's not what Struber sees for us. I think it's going to be one of them, and then either Roya, a White, a Barlow, somebody like that in alongside them, which I'm okay with. Danny Roya, I think again had a quiet game at times. I think Danny Roya is a fantastic football player. I think maybe he's lost a yard of pace. Maybe he's not quite as effective as he was, but I still certainly believe that having him as part of our squad is definitely a very important thing. But no, off the bench, Drew Yearwood came in, should have scored, in my opinion. But close enough. Galassi again doing very, very well. Brian White, I think, was really quiet, although Luke did say, and I agree, that he looks very good with a beard. I do like Brian White's new beard.
Great with a beard.
It's a new talking point there. Brian White's beard. Maybe that's a new feature for the next show.
I'm going to disagree there for a bit. For one thing, Scott, and Danny Roya. It's not a start. I don't care what. I don't care what anyone says. He's not a starter anymore. He gets not. He's not scored. This is now his 15th game without goal and assist. So that's quite a worrying stat as well. Like he got no real pace anymore. So
I think what you've got to be careful of, Luke, and I think you do this quite a lot. I think you make very, very big, bold, rash claims about lots of players, and then within 2 weeks get shown up entirely. I think we've known that this happens pretty much every single week. We do a video or a podcast. There's somebody that you say is rubbish, and that they then end up turning out to be our best player for the next 3 weeks. Right. So let's just
Danny
not make those
claims. Do that, though. Let's be honest.
Let's just not make those claims. Let's just not say that. And we'll see.
True though. He's not scored in 15 games.
Kyle Duncan's a twos player. I mean, Sean Davis is a twos player and not fit enough to wear the shirt.
He shouldn't start games. At the time, I agree with.
I mean, there's been comments quite rash all around. Let's just slow down with the big comments. We are 7 games into a season.
But I'm not. Different is I'm not the only person saying this for Danny Roya. You look on the Red Bull, with our timeline on the discussing group on Twitter, you'll see so many people saying this for Danny Roya. He's not scored a goal in 15 games. He's a striker. He's playing as a striker, and he needs to score goals. Like that, he hasn't. I don't know. I like Danny Roya. I do like Danny Roya. Believe it or not.
Just think it's too early. Yes, I don't need validation of the discussion group or the Twitter or whatever. My understanding is that Danny Roya is a very, very good player and will be a very, very good player and an effective player this season. I just think we need to calm down. COVID season. All of last year, we look at 15 game stretch. Most of that was through a Chris Armas COVID season, right? Which is just not anything that can be comparable to anything. This season, he's not started most of the games. He started the last couple. Also, we've not had a proper pre-season. Also, he isolation and the COVID travelling. It's a lot of strange things that factor in. I think before we start bringing players down, we just need to give it, if we're 15, 16, 17 games into the season and we're still there, then my hat will come off and I will apologise, and that is absolutely fine. But I think right now we're early doors.
Yeah, we're early doors. Yeah, it could change, right? It has. Carl Duncan one does stick out. I said he was a USL player and he wasn't. He had a massive game week after, but let's put Danny Roya probably not going to do that. But I agree, it's early on. It is weird. It is a weird season. It was a weird season last year. But this is just a fact. He's not the player he was 2 years ago. He's just not.
No, I agree.
And this is his last. I'm pretty sure this will be his last season at the club.
I agree.
So, and I'm not going into him too much. I like him as a player, but I just think there's probably better options for us to start now. But it doesn't matter what I think. It's manager to pick him, and I don't need the validation of the discussion group. Believe it or not, it just comforts me when other people believe my opinion, believe what I believe, because it doesn't happen very often.
I was going to say it's a first, isn't it?
It's a first. The first, and a lot of people agree. Should we move on to the stats for the game now?
Let's have a look at the stats.
So, the most important stats is the goals, really. Start with goals. Red Bull's got 2 with the 35th minutes. Tapping, really, wasn't it? From Caden Clark with a lovely assist from Patrick Kamara, his first MLS assist. Danny Boy missed it. He didn't miss it. He didn't get contact. I'll be correct. He didn't get contact. But Caden Clark was there to finish it. This is his 4th straight goal at Red Bull Arena. And is that his 4th or 5th of the season?
4th.
4th goal of the season.
Yeah.
That the kid, he just having an incredible season. What a player! And how lucky are we to be able to see him? Like in 4 years' time, he'll be a superstar in Europe. Everyone will be saying what a great player that Caden Clark is, and we will be able to say, well, we watched him when he was 17 and was ripping MLS apart.
Well, we've had the first American to win the Champions League this weekend.
Yeah.
Let's see if maybe we can have the first former Red Bull to do the same thing.
Let's not put too much pressure on him. All remember Freddie do. Yeah. And just before the hour mark, we've got our second goal. It was a free kick. That was in a perfect position. Oh, I don't know who got fouled. I can't remember now. Was it? It might have been Sean Davis. Can't remember. You got fouled. Can't remember. But
I had Clark in my head, but
might have been. Yeah, it might have been Woodcliff actually. I think someone got fouled. There was a free kick, literally on the edge of the area in a direct shooting range. I think Clark was over it, but he didn't go for it in the end. Also, the team, Christian Casales Jr. took it, smashed it into the top bins, really, wasn't it? Oh, couldn't go. Like I said earlier, we didn't get to see it because MSG was focusing on Orlando's shorts at the time for some reason. I think it was apparently a reason I read is Shep was talking about the wall.
Yeah, so, because you had a real, like, it was, these new walls that have never happened until the last 3 years. You got 3 people and then a man behind like that. And he was like in this sort of weird diagonal. It was the most bizarre thing.
Anyway, I went in and people had no chance of saving it. And I was feeling quite relaxed. And I thought, we're definitely going to win this now.
At that point, I was feeling quite relaxed.
And then basically we ran out of gas. We didn't look like, I thought. Lando kept pushing forward, and Van de Water, as I call him the Scots. His name is Water. Got a goal back in the 84th minute, and then it got nervy. And they came forward. We had some plans to finish that match off. Carl Duncan should have finished that match off with that effort. He should have finished it off. Then Van de Water had another chance, and then he put it way over the bar. I'm hearing reports it's just about to land in England as we speak.
I can see it out my window. It's dropping into Wolverhampton in the next few.
Yeah, it was. He should have buried that. And that might be a chance. If they look, I think we could have got a point there. But Red Bull deserved to get all 3 points. There's 14 shots to their 6, 7 on target to their 2. Lando had more possession, to 58-42. That's how we played. That's not no.
I mean,
great
I need to make it clear that for me, this is without doubt the best performance of the season.
Oh, definitely.
And most importantly, the press, the way that the press looked, it was just so remnant of the sort of Marsh era of the exciting, direct, attacking, aggressive press that we never really had under Armas. Because he tried to slow the ball down a little bit more. He wanted us to be a bit more of a passing team. But when we do the press right, it's just fantastic.
Yeah.
And it was a joy to see. My other half watched the game with me. It's the first Red Bull game I think she's ever watched, perhaps. And she was very impressed. She didn't got a clue what she's talking about, but she was very impressed.
Basically, what's happening here is Scott's preparing her when she comes to New York. That's basically what she's doing. I'll be honest. I'm alright thinking it's a trip to New York she's interested in, not a trip to Red Bull Arena.
I think that might
Is that a fair comment?
I think it's the New York shopping that she's interested in, rather than the trip down to Harrison. To be honest,
to be fair, having done a trip down to Harrison, I'm not sure I can really blame her because it's not a nice trip. But I look forward to meeting her.
Absolutely.
So we'll move on to the standings now. So at one point we were up to 5th, but obviously our match has been played now, and it's still not a true reflection. So some teams have played 8 games, some have played 7, some have played 6. So it's not, and it always, at this stage of the season, Melito means nothing.
Yeah,
I think to be honest, MLS times they don't mean anything until you get to like game week 34 sometimes, because they can change so quickly, especially in the East.
Crazy town.
Yeah. So stopping the East at the moment, we're getting quite a lead now. Is New England on 17. They have played 8 though. They have played a game more than Orlando, so Orlando can shorten that. Obviously, Orlando losing their first game of the season at Red Bull Arena. So they're still in second though on 12 points. The Smurfs managed to get a win last night, unfortunately. Did go 1-0 down, but came back.
I watched that. Carlos Vela should have finished. There was a chance that he had, and how he's not scored, I've got no idea at all. Of all players you expect to put the ball away, within 2 minutes, NYCFC go down to 10 men, and then within 3 minutes they have a corner, and they're ahead, and it's the 89th minute, and game over. Crazy.
Yeah, so they're currently in 3rd on 11 points, but you've got 5 teams on 11 points at the moment, from 3rd to 7th. So that means absolutely nothing at the moment. You've got 8th place, you've got Atlanta on 10 points. Then you've got 9th, you've got our boys New York on 9 points. DC and also in 9th on 10 points. And you've got Miami in 11th. You obviously got that record MLS fine for their I don't even know what we'd call it. We're bending the rules. Whatever it did was stupid.
That's pretty much it, really, isn't it?
Well, I think what's more hilarious about that is that at some points of the season they had 5 DPs, and they finished 10th in the East. Only scraping to the playoffs because they extended it last year because of COVID. That's how bonkers it is. 5 DPs and finished 10th. Like I probably went to time, Miami, so they're currently in 11th on 8 points, and that's not for Neville's not going well for Neville. So far, but I still think he might pick it up because he's got some good players in that roster. Never mind, it's not going well for at all. Mission complied to that at the moment. It is people in like Toronto and Canada in Orlando at the moment. Who
I have thoroughly enjoyed. I'm not going to lie. Reading hashtag TFC live tweets this morning. I've spent a good 5-10 minutes going through them all.
I'm not happy with him. I'm not happy with him.
Not at all. But he's making really bizarre. Like I read a piece that he said after the game is that he's playing a right back in central midfield, and his validation for that, even though he's got fit central midfielders, was, well, he's a good player and our right back's a good player, so I wanted them both to play. So I put the right back in central midfield. I don't understand.
The best
that's like saying that we've got two very good goalkeepers in Mira and Coronel.
Let's
so
we'll
play Mira up top. Yep. No difference to that.
But
hashtag armless logic.
Yeah, it's not going well for Chris Hammett, that's for sure. He's falling out with Josie, and he was asked by that, and he said he don't want to speak about this. And yeah, it's not looking good for Chris Hammett's spell in Toronto. I'll be shocked if he gets to manage in Toronto at this stage, because I would say it's on borrowed time, especially at this stage. 12th in East, with the most expensive roster in the league as well. Remember that. It's the most expensive roster in the league. At 12th in East and 5 points. Or you won one game this season. Not looking good for them.
Mad.
It's mad. Like,
not at all.
I would love to feel bad, but I don't. I get a real good bit of satisfaction in me thinking it wasn't people. You saw people say, "Well, it's Red Bull's fault. The voices were too poor." When he got the most expensive voice in the league and still managed to do this. So yeah, that's going one way, and he'll be sacked. I think he'll become of a summer. I can't see him last the season. I really can't.
Maybe not.
I guess Ali might.
That's enough about Chris.
We'll go back into the league table. Chicago in 13th, and Cincinnati are also in 14th, both on 4. That's on the Bulls are currently where are on the Shield? Let's look quickly. Currently 15th on the Shield, but of course again, sounds and zits early on do not mean anything. We'll find that when you get to game week 15, maybe you can start to take a bit of notice of the league tables for the standings.
Yeah.
But for now, we don't really mean anything. We could win. Great win. I mean, get a good. That's not. I know they didn't play well if they were still one of the better teams in the East this year. Unbeaten before we played them at Red Bull Arena. Red Bull Arena is back. The Fortress is back. 4 games, 3 wins, 1 loss.
You can't moan about that, really.
Can't moan about it.
Who was your man of the match?
First game back for fans as well. Good to see the fans back. That was great to see the fans back. Man of the match. Ooh. I think I would say John Tolkien. I didn't score a goal, but I don't think it was a really solid performance. Yeah. Considering it was against a good London City team, and his first ever MLS game, you can't. I don't think look past John Tolkien for me.
I'm going to go for CCJ. For me, it's not just the goal. Obviously, the goal was a nice cherry on top of a very, very good game. He played particularly well. His whole game for me was the best we've seen him this season, and it shows the sort of level of quality he can play. But yeah, special mentions to John Tolkien, Carl Duncan, Sean Nealis. I think in particular those 3 had very good games. Yeah. But no, I'd say that's it. Obviously, we've got a bit of a break now.
No break for that, sorry. No break for that.
Content will still be coming out. So you can go over to rvnyuk.com to go and find out all sorts that's going on over there. We are looking to try and sort some very, very special things out at the minute. It's just as to whether people are on board. We can get it going. We've got some exciting merch-based announcements over the next few weeks.
That should be done by before the National Town, I imagine. Yeah. It's definitely crossing the T's and the I's. Is that the same? What's the sign?
Crossing the I's. Crossing the I. No, crossing the T's and dotting the I's. That's it.
Yeah, that's it. That's the one. That one. So that will be like soon. Some good stuff coming. Next game is Nashville, also at Red Bull Arena. That's on Friday the 18th. That's a 1 a.m. one kickoff, I believe, for us, Scott. So
yeah.
That's going to be a late one. I will be watching. None of you will be. I will definitely be watching. Justin Clark coming home.
Absolutely.
I'll definitely watch that.
While you wait for the new stuff to come out, we've obviously got 6.5, I'm going to call it, podcasts available for you to go back and look through on Anchor, Spotify, and loads of other, Google Podcasts, loads of huge podcast providers. We've got obviously the YouTube channel. There are tons of videos on there, whether it be reviews, whether it be previews. You've got all of the podcasts on there. Got plenty of things to get your teeth stuck into there, including a very recent interview with the leader of Torqueda 96, the new fan group, which is for me a very exciting thing to be going and looking at. No, we've got lots of stuff on the website. There are loads of news articles. We've got match recaps, match previews. We've got all the stuff on Red Bull 2. There is loads of stuff to get your teeth into. So please come over. Please give us a look and get involved, because what you've been doing so far has been fantastic. So we're very grateful.
Now you can also catch, which is David, you can also catch a match recap from instead by our good friend Anthony Merced. That is up on our website, uk.com. We're also doing our fans' voice in association with New Red Bull discussion group. When you have your say on the match commented, all you need to do is DM us on Twitter with your view. We can comment on the post in the Red Bull discussion group. Your view will be posted. That'll come out on Wednesday. So, but next game, we'll see. We've got a podcast coming out. Probably just before a Nashville game. That's our next one, isn't it? We're doing 2. We've got a special one. We've got a big special one coming out for a Nashville game, which I'm super excited about. I don't know about you, Scott. I'm super excited about one. Doing a special one as it's obviously quite a big match. That's McCarthy returning to Red Bull Arena, and quite a big matchup. We'll have quite a few friends of the show on that one. I'm looking forward to it.
That's the plan.
So.
No. Right, I think we're about done. Thank you again for watching, and we shall see you soon. Up the Red Bulls.
Red Bulls to go. Take care.